Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today the reading is going to be a little bit different from usual because I normally do pick a card, so there's usually 3 piles to choose from, but I was feeling really called for some reason to do this reading for anyone who's been seeing 111. So I was specifically told that it's for anyone who's been seeing 111, and we're just going to see what your spirit guides have to say for you. They have a clear message for you today that I've been instructed to deliver. So I'm excited for this reading because it's so different from what I usually do. As I said, I normally have 3 piles to choose from to answer one particular question or all on one particular topic, but today I'm completely open. I'm following the guidance, and I hope that you guys are going to get the messages that you need to hear today, because you've obviously been guided to this reading for a reason. So we'll see what that number sequence is trying to tell you, but also just in general what your spirit guides want you to know at this time. I also want to say a big thank you to the lovely Raj. She has donated a gorgeous deck to the channel. This is the beautiful Work Your Light Oracle. Really gorgeous cards that I'm really excited to use. And also thank you so much to the lovely Kara, who has donated the lovely Blind Spot Oracle to the channel as well. Really loving both of these decks, which are so very different, but both incredibly beautiful and incredibly helpful as well. So thank you so much to both of you for your kindness and your eternal generosity and support of this channel. Thank you so much to both of you. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say here. We've got plenty to get through in today's reading. We'll be doing tarot cards, oracle cards, charms, dice, and also some oracle tokens as well. So there's plenty of information to come. You might want to grab a notepad and pen. There could be a lot of information here. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've also got the Knight of Swords, and then the Queen of Cups. Okay, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces showing up here so far. The ace is interesting because obviously if you've been seeing 111, that is a 1, and the ace is a 1 as well. So there is definitely some kind of new beginning coming in for you, Group 1. And I kind of see a situation where you're kind of being drawn between your head and your heart. It's like, do I follow what's logically sensible and what seems rational, or do I follow what I really want to do on an emotional level? I'm really curious about your oracle cards. I always use tarot just as like a gateway or portal into the reading, and then the oracle cards give us so much more specific information. Whoa. Okay, this card just flew out of my hands. Saint-Germain, karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. So this is partly tied in with the new beginning. This space for new energy coming in. So you might have recently released something from your life, Group 1, whether it was a person or situation, a behavioral pattern, a way of thinking, a way of life even, a belief system. Ascended Master Saint-Germain can really help us with these karmic issues. Whoa. Cards are just actually flying out of the decks and onto the floor. This is crazy. So here you've got Halls of a Mentee Initiation, Secrets Revealed, Treasures Uncovered, Initiation. So that word initiation to me is strongly connected to beginnings. And Crystal Skull Wisdom, Clarity, Divine Healing, High Vibrational Energy. That's incredible. So you are really learning a lot right now. I feel like there's a lot of downloads coming in. And I think this is why you're kind of unsure what to do, because you're kind of feeling like, okay, on a material level, this is clearly the most logical option, but I just have this really strong soul pull towards this thing. My heart is telling me, but this is what I really want to do, but on paper it doesn't seem logical. I'm hearing the word consolidate, like you've recently had to really like pull all of your energy together after a very difficult time. It feels like you've had to release people from your life, release belief systems, release like some really difficult experiences. And I'm also seeing like someone crouched down on the floor, like either crying or just literally crouched down because they can't think properly. Like this is something that's happened to someone recently where they just were like struggling so much that they couldn't even stand up or they couldn't even like sit properly. They were literally on the floor crying or praying or like just talking out loud. Wow, this is a really really powerful thing. I'm really sorry to whoever's experienced that. Koi fish spirit, there is always enough. Number 36. That is definitely something that some of you need to hear. This fear of not having enough, this fear of making the wrong choice and then regretting it forevermore. It's really, really crippling some of you. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. Number 47, and this is it. Like I said, this pull between what you want on this heart soul level and what you feel is the most logical option or the right thing to do rationally. Death and the Maiden, invasion, boundaries violated, dominance, number 28. And then shallow grave, you miss someone. Number 29. Wow. That's incredible. Look at how similar the imagery is on those two cards. This to me is really like you releasing someone and just kind of knowing it was the right thing to do because they were, you know, not respecting you, but also just really being upset about that. And look, it's 28, 29, so this ascending number formation. Some of you have recently left abusive relationships, so you've gone no contact with family members, low contact with friends maybe. Maybe you've been cheated on, maybe you've been unfairly treated at work, but there's just a feeling of like, I know it's the right thing to walk away from you, but also I'm so sad at having to do that. But this space clearing has literally left room for this new energy to come in, just like Saint Germain was saying. And I think that's really shown in this card because I'm always drawn to the butterflies on this card. Obviously, you might notice the skeleton, first of all, or the red of the girl's dress, which shows that she is still alive. It's the color of vitality. It's also the color of the root chakra, getting back to that sense of safety and security, that feeling of grounding. But the butterflies for me just point to how life moves on. Life still goes on even after endings, even after troubles and difficult situations. It's also obviously symbolic, the butterfly, of rebirth and evolution. You have this card, Eyes of the Eagle, rising above the fray, number 18. So this, I feel, is the big question for you. It's like you've become so bogged down in your situation that you're struggling to see the actual root of the issue, or you're struggling to see the wood for the trees. Let's use one of these cards from the very lovely Kara. Thank you so much, Kara, for your kindness in sending in this gorgeous oracle. These are the blind spot oracle cards, and these are really, really good at pointing out something that you're missing, your blind spot in this situation. So it can be something that you're not aware of, it can be something you're not acknowledging in a situation, and it can even be something that you're consciously trying not to look at. You know, you're kind of aware of it, but you don't want to be aware of it, kind of thing. So let's see what you are not seeing in this situation, because obviously you've been seeing the numbers 111, which is trying to draw something to your attention, and you've kind of felt like, okay, what is this? And obviously we do associate the ones with the new beginning, and that's why we have all these messages about clearing space, new beginnings, initiations, etc. But there's just this feeling of like, I'm uncertain. I'm at this crossroads. I feel like I'm being pulled in two directions and I just don't know what's going on. So what are you not seeing in this situation, you guys? Okay, you've got sigil, number 71. I will need to look in the guidebook for this because they don't have any keywords on the cards. They just use the sigil and the number. So number 71 is depletion. Okay. says, if you've drawn this sigil, you are depleted. You can't do what is necessary because you have no energy, and therefore no forward movement can occur until you replenish yourself in some way. People tend to draw this sigil when they are suppressing their exhaustion to the degree that they can't see or admit to the fact that they are depleted. Alternatively, they may see that they are depleted but are telling themselves that it doesn't matter and that they have to carry on doing the same thing anyway. Okay, so it's basically where you feel run down. You feel like you have maybe lost enthusiasm for something. This can feed into things like burnout. It can feed into resentment in relationships, for example. It can be very apathetic, where you just, as I said, don't have any enthusiasm for anything. Maybe you're struggling to focus on things, even things that you enjoy or things that are kind of recreational, like I said this recently in a reading, but when you're struggling with this kind of thing, you might even not be able to watch a film, for example, because you feel like it's just too long and you don't have the attention span for it. Might also feel, with the push-pull of the head and heart, like you're being spread too thinly, like you're being pulled in lots of different directions. So you might, for example, be having lots of different ideas and inspirations, and it's like you can't quite get off the ground with any of them. You want to be doing so many different things all at once that you just can't gather the necessary focus to do one thing and see it through until the end. And then this just feeds into a huge frustration because you've got all of these ideas, you've got all of this inspiration or this creative ability or these projects in your mind that you are thinking of, but you just can't seem to complete any of them or to make significant headway in any of them. Internal strength. Wow, that's a gorgeous card. I've never pulled this one before. That's really, really beautiful. This is telling you that you are stronger than you realize, that you will come through this situation. Let's get a message from Archangel Raphael, because it does seem to be like a health issue, even if you're not recognizing it in that sense with depletion. There's obviously something there that's lacking. Wow. You guys, expect a miracle. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for your miraculous intervention and healing energy, which has restored the health of, name a specific person. But I think this is also telling you that this new beginning is going to bring some incredible opportunities for you. Like, I was expecting that card to come out with something like stay hydrated or eat the right foods, like something specific and practical that you could do to improve this situation and this feeling of burnout. But it's not. It's actually a very specific message on a wider level of expect a miracle. And equally, the base card is sunlight. Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me enjoy the benefits of sunshine in safe and healthy ways, which obviously, you know, sunlight gives us vitamin D. It's very important that we do take it in. But to me, sunlight is also metaphorical, like brightness and blessings and joy that are going to enter your life, like the sun card in tarot, for example. If we look at these two cards and how dark they look, and then contrast it with sunlight, it also seems to fit in with this crystal skull wisdom card about clarity. When we think about sunlight, we think of how it illuminates the dark spaces, the dark crevices in our mind, and gives us some kind of epiphany, some information. It lets us see the whole situation. Everything that seemed clouded or dark or obscured suddenly becomes visible, and we suddenly understand it so much better. And that is really just really, really liberating. Let's see what we get from these cards. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the tree, which is in the dark forest, and yet it is illuminated by all of these beautiful light bulbs, and then inside there's actually a candle burning. So there's natural light as well as the artificial light that's going on around you, and the natural light is a lot stronger than the artificial light. Look, there's even a light bulb that's fallen down and broken there. It's like it almost can't stand up to the strength of the artificial light. Another one, the fuse is gone and it's not burning brightly enough. This is like when you see, it's kind of almost like the tower moment in tarot, when you suddenly get the truth of a situation and you're suddenly able to see everything that looked like the truth before, or everything that looked incredible and beautiful and tempting before now just seems completely artificial or completely dull in comparison to the truth of the situation or to the knowledge and epiphany that you now have. It's like when you've been waiting ages for some inspiration and you come up with some half-baked ideas, and then when you do finally get that inspiration, even if it's weeks or months down the line, it just looks so like in a different category to everything that you've been thinking could be your inspiration up until that point. It like completely throws everything else out of the water. Then here you also have this card. We've got the little boy wearing the mortarboard. There's some equations in the background, and he's made these little paper boats for his toys, and he's sailing them away. So it's like rites of passage. Obviously, the small child with the mortarboard, that's symbolic of education and growing up, independence. We've got this almost Six of Swords imagery of floating away, moving towards a better horizon. That fits in with the messages that you've received as well about these opportunities coming your way, and the fact that you've made space in your life to receive these new opportunities. It might not have felt like that was what you were doing at the time. As I said, it might have been extremely painful for you to let go of these things, whatever they were. Relationships, thought patterns, situations. It could even have been a job, as I said, about being treated unfairly at work. It might have felt very, very painful to let go of that, but that was you making space to receive something better, something that was more in alignment with what you are currently doing in this lifetime, what your intentions are for this lifetime that you set before being incarnated, what your mission is, essentially your highest good in this lifetime. So then here we've got Machtkampf, number 24, power struggle. So there we have it again, with the head and heart, not knowing who to believe, who to trust. Who's stronger, my rational thinking brain or my soul and my heart? We have Held, number 76, hero, being rescued, being shown the way. Tod, number 41, death. This feeling of emptiness, getting ready for the rebirth. Erlösung, number 60, with the beautiful angel there placing their hands on your crown chakra, relief. This is an interesting timeline as well, being rescued from death, being given relief. This period of time where you feel so down, so empty, and then being rescued from that, experiencing salvation. So these unseen helpers are around you trying to offer you this miracle, this new beginning. But right now, or in the very recent past, you have just felt this emptiness. You know, we've got all of this going on in the unseen realms here, all of these colors and experiences and feelings and words, but to us it's just this empty monochrome space, silence, coldness. This is like actually fitting in with the depletion message, because it's when you feel numb, like you've gone past all of the sadness, you've gone past the anguish, the missing someone, the pain, the hurt, the crying, the tears, etc., and you've just reached the point of numbness. But in that numbness and in that silence, there is like basically you're an empty chasm. You have this huge space that can be filled by these new blessings. And that's what's going on now. Those old karmic ties have been tied up for you. That's what Saint-Germain is here to confirm. And you can lay them to rest. Cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. Look how similar that imagery is. Oh my goodness. It's like pretty much like the exact same, but here we've got it in monochrome and here we've got it in full color. Here the person is like deceased, they're laid out to rest, they are empty. Here the person is being revived, they are receiving healing, they are being cleansed and purified. That's amazing. That's really amazing. I love that. That's that relief from that experience of death. You're going through this purification. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Oh my goodness, you guys, that's amazing. I literally said it was like the Tower in Tarot, and that is obviously what this card is being based on. That's amazing. Wow. There is also a lot of purples and greens in your reading. So purple is a very spiritual colour. It's the colour of the crown chakra. It's the colour of Shaman, obviously, as well. And green is a very healing colour, and it's the colour of the heart chakra. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. This fits so well. My goodness. You've become this empty space. The base card here, which might apply to some of you, is mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Someone or something is causing you to feel worse in your situation. Who or what might that be? I'm going to get you a few more cards. I'm aware that we're running out of space. I'm really sorry about that, but I just love to get loads of cards. Obviously, we're going to do your charms, dice, tokens as well. I always do these sort of mixed methods on my channel for getting as many messages as possible. Aha! Number 1. There it is. 111. Number 1 is about relationships. It's about possibilities for romance. It's about new projects, new beginnings, new experiences. And there is no reversed meaning for that card. That card is always positive. And when you're asking a yes/no question, it always signifies yes. That's amazing. Because I think it's the only card in that deck that is always positive as well. And I think that this is something you guys need to hear, because there has been such a difficult shift in your life. And like I said, it's left you feeling empty. It's left you feeling like you're just this empty space, this void that needs to be filled. But you couldn't quite see a point where that could happen. You couldn't quite envisage a situation where that space could be filled. Knight of Raphael, Knight of Cups. Romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. This is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces again. It fits with this hero imagery of being rescued. For some of you, this will have a romantic meaning, especially now that we've just pulled that number 1 card. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to mean that you're going to have a romantic relationship soon. That might not be the right scenario for everyone. Obviously, you might be in a relationship already, but you might not be looking for love. You might recognize that you're not in the right space yet for that, or that's just not something that you're interested in. That's completely fine. When the cards point towards something, it doesn't mean that that's something that you have to do. It means that there's an opportunity for that to be experienced. For me, this also confirms what I was feeling throughout the reading as well, because if we go back to the start there, you got the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and it was this battle between head and heart. But now you've got the Knight of Cups to replace that Knight of Swords. Following your heart, following your passion. Those things that speak to you. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. This is amazing. If you haven't got that inspiration already, you will soon have it. Full moon in Aquarius, be real, is the base card there. You're being encouraged to be your true self, to speak your truth. To not be afraid of being heard, of being seen. And your token of light card there is number 35. Ascension to a higher place. And this is the little portal visualization on the reverse. So let's just take a quick look in the guidebook there, and then we'll start doing your charms, dice, and tokens. So it's the Hebrew letter Lamed, which is associated with the sign of Libra. It's the 12th letter. In the Hebrew alphabet, its geometric value is 30. It's associated with the air element, connecting the Sephirot of Hod to Yesod, and in tarot it is connected to the Justice card. So this card says curiosity and constant renewal, progress and growth, an active young soul and love of art. The desire to learn and develop brings you to faraway places, and your total faith helps you survive critical situations. You are supported by the universe and able to overcome the dangers along the path. This aspect of the letter Lamed indicates climbing to a higher place in order to see the whole picture, and that's what the eagle eyes was talking about, seeing things from a higher perspective, rising above what it calls the fray, which for me is like the details that you get bogged down in when you're so ensconced in a situation that you can't see the wood for the trees, as I mentioned earlier, when you literally can't see what's going on around you because you are so bogged down in that situation. Rising above and seeing it from that higher perspective gives you the best possible vantage point to see the best way out of the situation and to see how you can best achieve your goals and dreams. So let's do your charms now. I think you've got some amazing messages from your cards. See what your charms have to say. I think a big thing that you need to hear is that you will always be provided for. I keep looking at that koi fish card of there will always be enough. So what have we got here? We've got the octopus, juggling a lot of things, dealing with a lot of things at once, having lots of thoughts, lots of worries, lots of responsibilities. We've also got the princess, being treated well by people, only accepting people in your life who treat you as you deserve to be treated. That's not arrogant to only accept those kinds of people. It's not demanding of you. It is simply like the basics of respect in any relationship. And I say any relationship because this is not just talking about romantic situations. This is talking about your friendships. This is talking about your family members. This is talking about your work colleagues as well. Obviously, we can't necessarily choose who we work with, but we can choose how we respond to them, and we can choose how much of an interaction we have with them besides what's necessary. You have the flamingo here landing on you miss someone. The flamingo for me is all about your other half, the person that really completes you, or the thing that you are most passionate about in the world. So that's going back again to following your heart. It's like you've been missing that passion. You've been missing that inspiration, that maybe you're the kind of person who always has some kind of goal, who's always chasing some kind of dream, who's always working towards something in the future. And it just feels like recently that hasn't been possible for you. That hasn't been the case. You've just been bogged down. You've been completely lacking in inspiration. It's been so difficult for you. And now you're about to be filled with that inspiration. And if you've already received it, then you're being told to trust it. Because I feel like with the 2 here from the astrology dice, the second house, that is all about your finances, your kind of material assets. Is also about your self-worth. So that's a big issue coming up here as well, how you view yourself. But going back to the assets and the kind of finances, there's this fear, I think, that following your passion is going to leave you in poverty, or is going to leave you worse off financially, or leave you like even like unable to feed yourself. But you're being told there will always be enough. You're being told that it's safe to travel down this path. The Ace of Pentacles is literally about a financial boon, or having enough, or being provided for in some way. You have the olive branch here, harmony, positive relationships, making your peace with the past, forgiveness if that's possible, forgiveness in order to move on. We've also got the baby tapir here, which is about children and childhood. Could be to do with your inner child. It's also when we feel a little bit like we're lacking in confidence. We don't feel like we can speak up. We don't feel like we can advocate for ourselves. So that could be a message for some of you too, working on opening up that throat chakra. Let's do your dice now, and then we will do your tokens as well. So we're going to roll the fourth set of dice for you, and those are the Looney Tunes dice. Let me just get those. Here they are. And we're rolling two of them for you. So two is obviously connected to this as well. Obviously that follows straight on from one, so that's like the next step on your journey. Okay, so we've got the wardrobe. A change of scenery can literally mean changing your style, changing your look, the type of clothes you wear, but it can also be more kind of metaphorical of like just changing the whole scenery. Like when we say things like we're getting sick of these four walls, it can mean that we're going to move house because we're literally sick of those four walls, or it can mean that we are going to shake up our life. We're going to change the way that we do things in a more holistic way. And then we've got, I think he's called Pinky Pig, but I might be wrong. It might be Perky Pig, I'm not sure. I always forget his name, but he's the one who says, that's all folks, at the end of a Looney Tunes episode. And that's what I always think of when I see that dice, that we're tying something up, that we're, you know, closing off loose ties. We are like the World card in the tarot, closing off a chapter of our lives, and we're looking forward to the next episode, the next thing that's going to come on. Whatever is being brought forward into our lives. Let's get your tokens now to finish up your reading. This has been such an inspirational reading, you guys. I'm so pleased to be giving you such beautiful messages, and I hope it's also provoked some thinking as well about the things like the depletion message, what are you holding on to, power struggle, etc. Recognizing your inner strengths, seeing things from a higher perspective. And I've got another bag of tokens as well. Okay, so what have we got here? So firstly, from the larger tokens that we have, you have got laurels. That always makes me think of two things, actually. It makes me think of resting on your laurels. Like, I've got to this point, let's not stop here, you know, don't rest on your laurels. It also makes me think of leadership, because Roman leaders used to wear them around your head. So it's like achievement, it's recognition, it's understanding your authority, and that also feeds in with respecting yourself, improving your self-esteem, improving your confidence in yourself, not being afraid to speak up. Then we have Queen. Obviously makes me think of the Queens in tarot. You've got the Queen of Cups there. Again, it's making me think of sovereignty, autonomy, leadership, self-respect, especially a strong woman, or your feminine energy being extremely strong within you. And then creation, new beginnings, inspiration, following your passion, literally what we've been talking about, especially in the realms of art, anything to do with artistic creations, artistic interests. And from the smaller tokens, what have we got here? We've got the spider. Spider again makes me think of art and creation. When you think of how they weave their web every single day. The spider is also connected to the feminine as well. So that's like a clear message that's coming through across two mediums. You have number 33, a bird in the hand. Appreciate what you have. Gratitude. It also makes me think of kind of you not being aware of the talents and abilities that you do have. For example, you might be thinking, I need to do this, I need to retrain, I need to, you know, change so much about who I am. and about my life, but actually you have so much already. There's so much that you should be proud of. You should appreciate the talents that you have, or the things you've already learned throughout your life. We've got the bomb here, number 65. Like literally like the tower. Literally like the tower. Change that happens that can feel destructive, that can feel frightening, because it is outside of our control, or it is not something that we have chosen consciously to change. And then trophy. Success and recognition. Confidence. Again, this is loud and clear through your tokens, through your cards. You guys, you could really, really afford to be more confident in yourself. You could afford to be less humble. Try speaking up a little bit more and see what happens. Because sometimes when we push ourselves to do it and then we realize that actually the world hasn't collapsed just because we've shared our opinion, that can be incredibly liberating. So I really, really hope you've enjoyed your reading. I hope it's given you the messages that you needed. I've enjoyed doing this for you. Like I said, I don't know why I was called to do this particular reading, because it's not like anything I've done before, but I was called to, so I hope you've gotten something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the reading, because I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how it resonated. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the reading, because that really helps out my channel, and it means that I can get these messages to as many people as possible as well. And check out my description box or my comment below for all of the relevant links to get in touch with me, or to connect more with the work that I do. I have an Etsy page for private readings and healing sessions. I have a Patreon page with exclusive content and an astrology course for those of you who want to support me. I have tarot wish lists. I have my PayPal link linked below for anyone who's feeling generous, like the lovely Kara and Raj were recently and would like to send a gift to the channel or support me in continuing to make these videos. And I also have my Instagram page where I post daily oracle cards and occasionally do daily readings. And we have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. So for those of you who would like to get some crystal jewelry that is infused with intentions to help you achieve what it is that you're trying to manifest, use the link below, because we have a discount running with them. So if you use the link below, that will activate the discount code. Then just apply the discount code Violet at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first order, and you will also get free international shipping. So thank you so much to them for continuing to offering that lovely discount for Violet's Dream Tarot viewers. Thank you again for being here. Good luck, you guys, with everything that is that you're trying to create. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.